Welcome back to Purpose Driven Church for Unificationists. We are on day 51, and we are continuing the chapter on turning attenders into members. This little section is called Communicating the Value of Membership. So he says that in the past, people joined a church because that was what everybody else did. It was just an act of conformity in a sense. But obviously now things are not like that anymore. And conformity is not a motivating factor for people to join a church. He says that Gallup poll found that the vast majority of Americans believe it is possible to be a good Christian without joining or even attending a local church. I would think that I definitely used to fall into that category. Instead, membership is now an act of commitment. The way you motivate people to join today is to show them the value for value benefits they will receive in return for their commitment. At Saddleback, we found that when people understand the meaning and value of membership, they get excited about it. There are numerous benefits to membership, he says. 1, it identifies a person as a genuine believer. 2, it provides a spiritual family to support and encourage them in their walk with Christ. 3, it gives them a place to discover and use their gifts in ministry. 4, it places them under the spiritual protection of godly leaders. And 5, it gives them the accountability they need to grow. He says you need to emphasize the fact that the church provides them with benefits they cannot find anywhere else in the world. This is a really interesting section for me because I think that for myself, having grown up away from a church community, I never really felt that it was something that I needed. And I think that as a pastor, it's been a challenge for me and a growth process to discover why people should join our church. What is the main reasons? Why can't they just have this belief system and live their life as best as they seem fit? And hey, someday we're not going to have church as a religion anyway, right? But this is very interesting, and I can resonate with some of these points about, for example, needing the accountability. When you are on your own, it is hard to grow. It's hard to push yourself to grow, and it's hard to have that accountability. Having a community and having other people who got your back is really valuable, actually. And having the spiritual protection of godly leaders. I know that many leaders in the past may not have been very godly, but that's definitely not a trend we want to continue. Having a place to discover and use your gifts in ministry. I mean, I'm doing that right now, I feel. So what can I say? So this is very interesting for me. He says there's many analogies to use for a Christian who's disconnected from church. The most understandable and biblical picture is that of a child without a family. He says it's really important to look at a church community as not an institution, but as a family. He says, since the 1960s, Americans have become increasingly anti-institutional. Yes, it's true. The phrase organized religion is used contemptuously, yet people are also longing for a sense of family and community. He says, when you look at society, you see many different factors at play. You see high divorce rates, delayed marriages, emphasis on individuality, alternative lifestyles, and women working outside the home, among others. Also because people move more frequently and are going to different places for work, you lose many times that social safety net of friends, family, extended family that many people in previous generations had. Also, record number of single adults in America. He says that if the Gallup poll said that 1 in 4 in 10 Americans admit to frequent feelings of intense loneliness. So everywhere you look, there are signs that people are hungry for fellowship, community, and a sense of family. Even when you look at many commercials, he uses the example of beer commercials. They don't always sell the beer. Many times what they're doing is they're selling the fellowship. They show a commercial with a bunch of people standing or sitting around and laughing and joking and having a good time. And then, oh yeah, they're drinking beer. So they're selling the connectedness and the fellowship that comes with it, not even just the product itself many times. So he says that it's important to think about positioning the church as an extended family, a place where you are cared for, which will strike a sensitive chord in many lonely hearts. And of course, you have to follow through with that. You actually have to care for people when they come. You actually have to want to include them in your family. That's kind of important. But yeah, that's anyway. It's eye-opening for me. I know that because in our past, people have experienced a lot of pain and heartache in our church. That because of that, a lot of people feel like we're better off without it. So I think that in some ways we kind of have to get back to, what are the benefits and creating those benefits. All right, that's all for today. Thank you.